A strange thing happens when people start earning more money. Their life does not always get lighter. Sometimes it gets heavier. The apartment gets better. The car gets nicer. The food gets more expensive. The subscriptions multiply quietly in the background. And then one day, the number on the paycheck looks bigger, but the feeling is exactly the same. Still waiting. Still stretched. Still one bad month away from panic. That is the part I think people miss about money. The problem is not only how much comes in, it is what your life does to it the second it arrives. Because if every dollar already has somewhere to go, you are not really getting paid. You are just passing money through your hands and calling it progress. I used to think money was mainly about income. Make more and things get easier. And yes, that can be true. More income gives you more options. It can reduce stress. It can help you escape problems that no amount of mindset will fix. But there is another side that is much colder. If the way you use money is broken, more money does not save you. It only makes the broken system bigger. A raise becomes a nicer version of the same pressure. A bonus becomes a shopping list. A new job becomes permission to upgrade the cage. And this is where the whole conversation around money gets messy. Some people treat money like it is evil. Some treat it like it is the only thing that matters. Some chase it so hard, they never ask what it is actually doing in their life. I think the better question is simpler. When money enters your life, does it buy you more control, or does it just buy you more things to maintain? That difference sounds small. It is not. The first trap is that income can make you feel like you are moving forward while your life quietly moves the floor underneath you. You earn more, so you spend more. At first, it feels natural. You worked hard. You want a better place, better clothes, better food, a few small comforts, nothing crazy. Then those comforts stop feeling like upgrades. They become normal. And once they become normal, cutting them feels like loss. That is the strange part. The same thing that made you feel richer can later make you feel trapped. Not because the thing is bad, but because it becomes part of the monthly machine. Rent, car payment, insurance, phone, food, entertainment, debt, random small charges you forgot existed. The money comes in, and before you even touch it, your lifestyle has already claimed it. This is why I do not think income alone tells the truth. Someone can earn a modest amount and still have space. Someone can earn a huge amount and have none. The real signal is the gap. What is left after your life has taken its cut? That gap is where freedom starts. Not luxury, not looking successful. Freedom. Because the gap gives you choices. It lets you handle a bad month. It lets you say no. It lets you leave a situation that is eating you alive. It lets money stop being an emergency siren. Without that gap, every paycheck becomes a rescue mission. And rescue missions do not feel like wealth. They feel like survival with better furniture. The next problem is that a lot of spending is not really about the thing being bought. It is about the audience. Sometimes the audience is real. Friends, family, people at work, people online. Sometimes the audience is imaginary, which is worse because imaginary people are impossible to satisfy. You buy the thing, and for a minute, it works. You feel sharper, safer, more impressive, more caught up. Then the feeling fades, and the bill stays. This is what I think of as the status tax. It is the extra money paid to look like you are doing well, even when that money is making you less well. And the ugly part is that it often looks normal from the outside. A better car can look like progress. A bigger apartment can look like progress. A lifestyle upgrade can look like progress. But if it removes your breathing room, it is not progress. It is decoration on pressure. That does not mean nice things are bad. I do not think the answer is to hate comfort, live like a monk, or treat every purchase like a moral failure. That kind of advice sounds clean until real life enters the room. People want beauty, ease, fun, a decent meal, a home that does not feel like punishment. The problem starts when spending becomes identity repair. When you are not buying the object anymore, you are buying proof. Proof that you are not behind. Proof that you are not ordinary. Proof that your life is going somewhere. And proof is expensive when you need to keep buying it. This is why debt can feel so harmless at first. It lets the future pay for the image today. The future is quiet, so it loses the argument until the payment arrives. Then the future starts charging interest. The most useful money habit is also one of the least glamorous. Look at what actually happened. Not what you think happened, not what you meant to do, not the clean version in your head, the real numbers. Most people do not avoid this because they are stupid. They avoid it because the numbers can feel like an accusation. You open the bank app after a weekend, and there it is, the truth, with no manners. So it becomes easier not to look. That is the trap. Avoiding the number does not protect you from the problem. It only protects the problem from being interrupted. This is why tracking spending matters. Not because a spreadsheet is magical, not because writing down coffee will turn someone into a millionaire. That is the cartoon version. Tracking works because it makes the invisible visible. You start seeing patterns. The random purchases are not random. The small charges are not small when they travel in groups. The one-time expense has a funny way of appearing every month in a new costume. Once you see that, budgeting stops being a punishment. A budget is just a decision made before the pressure hits. Without one, the loudest desire in the moment usually wins. And the moment is a terrible financial planner. It only cares about now. It does not care about rent next week. It does not care about the emergency that has not happened yet. It does not care about the person you will be 6 months from now. That is why an emergency fund matters. It is not exciting. Nobody brags about having 3 months of expenses sitting quietly in an account. But that quiet money changes the room. A broken phone becomes annoying instead of catastrophic. A job problem becomes serious instead of instantly terrifying. A surprise bill becomes a problem to solve, not a personal collapse. The goal is not to stare at money all day. The goal is to stop being ambushed by your own life. After consumption is under control, the other side matters. Production. That word can sound cold, but I mean it in a simple way. What value are you bringing into the world that other people are willing to pay for? For most people, the first answer is a job. That is not shameful. A job is a way of producing value. You give time, skill, effort, attention, and you get paid. The mistake is pretending that this is the only possible form of production. It is one form. There are others. You can build a skill that makes your labor more valuable. You can solve a problem for a business. You can sell a service. You can create something online. You can make software. You can teach. You can design. You can organize. You can build a small machine that earns because it helps someone with a real problem. The key word is real. A lot of money advice turns this part into fantasy. Just start a business. Just build a brand. Just escape the 9 to 5. As if the market is waiting around to reward confidence by itself. It is not. The market is rude. It does not care how badly you want freedom. It responds to usefulness, timing, trust, distribution, and whether the thing you made solves a problem people care about. That is why production is harder than cutting spending. You can cancel a subscription today. You cannot instantly become valuable at scale today. That takes time, practice, failure, taste, feedback, patience, the boring ingredients people leave out because they ruin the sales pitch. Still, production matters because there is a limit to how much you can cut. You can only reduce expenses so far before life gets small and miserable. But your ability to create value can grow far beyond your current paycheck if you build the right skills and aim them at the right problems. This is the part where money stops being only defense. It becomes leverage. The real change happens when both sides work together. You control what leaves. You improve what comes in. The space between them grows. That space is not just savings. It is not just an investment account. It is not just a clean budget. It is distance from desperation. And that distance changes how you think. When you have no gap, everything becomes urgent. You chase the next paycheck. You accept bad terms. You keep bad habits alive because changing them feels risky. You tell yourself you will fix it later, but later keeps arriving with a bill in its hand. When you have a gap, your brain gets quieter. You can plan. You can wait. You can choose. That is what money is really good at when it is handled well. It gives you room between the event and the reaction. Money does not make someone wise. It does not make someone good. It does not fix every part of life, and treating it like a god is just another expensive way to stay confused. But treating it like nothing is also false. Money is stored choice. It is proof that value moved from one place to another. It is a tool that can protect your time, expand your options, and reduce the number of emergencies that get to control you. The danger is forgetting that. Then money becomes theater. You earn for display, spend for approval, borrow from your future, avoid the numbers, repeat the cycle. Call it adulthood. That is a bad deal. Not dramatic, just bad. And once you see the deal clearly, it becomes harder to keep signing it. I do not think the goal is to obsess over money. The goal is to build a life where money stops interrupting every important thought. Spend with your eyes open. Produce something useful. Keep the gap alive. If this made the problem clearer, subscribe. I'll keep pulling apart ideas that look normal until the machinery underneath is visible.